Don't reread rules. You don't understand, Skojo. This may or may not go on YouTube. Maybe. So we gotta treat everything as if it's a brand new video. Foggy Chess by PjoeterBliep. We got some normal Sudoku rules. I love it. We have dynamic fog, which is my preferred fog. I think dynamic fog really solves the issue of people just randomly guessing in regular fog stuff, so I love that. And then we have chess pieces. All you guys gotta know is white pieces, they count different. Black pieces count the same number. So white pieces look at all the legal moves of whatever piece it is. So as a knight, we look at the 8 moves that the knight can do, and we say if it's a white piece, we count the different numbers. So if it's a 5 on that knight, then there are 5 different numbers that are not 5s, and therefore it means 3 numbers are 5s if it's in the middle. Black ones count the same number. So again, if there's a 5 on a black knight, then there's 5 other 5s that are within knight's move of that. White means different, black means same. Okay. We have a normal chess set, so there's 1 king, 1 queen of each color, maybe, and then maximum 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops of each color. Don't think of it as a minimum, think of it as a maximum. Legal moves, things move like chess. That's all you need to know. Ignore all that stuff. Legal moves does mean we have to avoid things like check. We do have to consider that you can only capture with a pawn if there is an opposite color piece in the way. And speaking of pawns, pawns can move 2 squares if it's the first move. Black pawns start at the top of the screen on row 2 and they come downwards. White pawns start at the bottom of the screen on row 8 and they move upwards. Got it? Get it? Good. We are starting. Check this out. PjoeterBliep set this one, especially for me. I'm so touched. I'm so happy with it. We did the practice puzzle. It was very fun. Super enjoyable, even though we wasted 3 minutes talking about poutine. Well, not wasted. You can't waste time talking about poutine, but anyways, my time was not very good on that one. Still, we're trying to be entertaining while we're working on this. All right, here we go. I'm so excited. Okay, right off the bat, we have the king castled safely into the corner in a very, very super legal 9x9 chessboard. And then, so this one here, we've got 1, 2, 3 legal moves for this duder. We know this one has to be different, so this has to be at least a 1. And this has to be different, so it has to be at least a 2. So it could be a 2 or 3 in this case, unless there's something blocking it. So pencil that in. It is 2 or 3. This cannot move up, but it has to be at least a 1. That means there needs to be at least another black piece here, or in both cases. So this is a 1 or a 2. This king cannot go into its own piece, which I'm assuming is the case, but it has 1, 2, and 3, and again, it's counting different, so it's 1, 2, or 3. This bishop counts the same, so even though it can see this one legally, we know that it can't be the same number as this bishop, so we're not going to bother counting that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. One of these could be a 4, this is a 5, and one of these is a 6. So it goes all the way to 6. There is already a 1, 2, 3, so this is a 4, 5, or a 6. And that is all we know. Yeah. No, that's not true. We know that one of these is a black piece as well. What type of black piece? We don't know. I'm assuming, oh, this is where some of the chess comes in. I'm assuming that neither of these black pieces can be a king because we can't legally have a king in check, maybe. So we can't just start with them in check. So I'm assuming these can't be a king. And in a similar vein, I'm assuming these can't be a knight because then they will already be looking at the king, right? So that eliminates 2 pieces for us. So we have left a bishop, rook, or a queen, and a pawn. So 4 different possibilities. Yeah. We have, where was I? I got distracted by check there for a second. Okay. So it could be rook, queen, pawn, or bishop. Does that help us anywhere? Oh, this could be a 1 as well, couldn't it? Could, no. Yeah, I guess if this is a black piece blocking it, then this could also be a 1. Does that make a difference though? We do allow this to check. So that's fine. Oh, the king can't move in here because that would be check. So we can say it's only 1 or 2. King can't go in here because that'd be check. So it's only 1 or 2. So it's only this or this and or this. So this is a 3. Yes? Yes. So now we know this is 3. There is no black piece here because this needs to be able to go here, here, and here. Right? So there's no black piece blocking it. So therefore this is a 1. So it can only take there. So that's a 1. And then that's 2. So there's only a black piece here. And these are all 3 different numbers. That makes sense to us. This king sees these 2 squares as legal moves as well. If there's a pawn here, it'll be very helpful because it would block whatever from seeing this. So if this was a rook, then the pawn would block it, right? If we don't have a pawn here, then this cannot be a rook or a queen. It could only be a bishop or another pawn. Because then we don't have a pawn blocking the king from stepping into check in that case. So the question is, can this be a pawn? If this was a pawn, how many legal moves would this pawn have, right? We know there's a black piece blocking it, so it can only have 2 legal moves. It can only go here and here, right? So it can't be a 1, it can't be a 2. It could have been a 4 if there was no black piece blocking it, but there is a black piece blocking it. Therefore, there is no pawn here. So we know this cannot be a pawn, or at least a white pawn anyways. Can't be a black pawn anyways. Can there be a black piece here that is blocking us as well? That's the other thing that could possibly block for the king. It wouldn't be a pawn. It wouldn't be a bishop or queen. A rook wouldn't make a difference. Could be a knight. Could be a knight. So if there's a knight here, it would see these squares. So it could potentially go up to a 6. There's nothing really stopping a knight from being there, is there? Well, no, yes, because a knight here would see the square. So it can't be a knight either, right? So it can't be a pawn, it can't be a knight or a bishop, it can't be a rook, queen, and it can't be another king. That's all the 6 pieces that we have. So therefore, there's no black piece here either. So it can't be a pawn, can't be a black piece. Can it be another white piece? Could we have another white piece that's blocking here? I don't know why I was stuck on just thinking pawn. So, could we have a knight here? A knight would count different. Oh, sorry. Anyways, yeah, it works with a black. I was counting different for black, but if this was a white knight, so now a white knight would count the same, or count different, sorry. So it could be a 6. So it could be a white knight. And we know black rooks do not exist. Can't have black rooks, period. Could be a white rook. Could be anything that would block the king. So the king could legally still move here. This could be a rook or a queen still then, because there could be a white piece here blocking. Okay, so this could be a pawn, queen, or rook, or bishop. So let's jot that down maybe. Pawn, there's no cues. I can't write a cue. How the heck am I going to mark what pieces it could be? Good morning, LM. Okay, let's just go through the pieces here. If this was a black pawn, right? Pawns count same. So it would, the only way the black pawn can move would be here, here, or here, right? So it only can, and it can't count the same here. So it can only be a 1. So it can't be a black pawn. We can remove that. Forget about it, okay? The rook, queen, and the bishop is a problem though, because I think they can be a lot of things, right? Because the bishop can easily count the same here. 1, 2, and 3. And we did say black rooks do not exist, so we know it's not black. So it's either black rook or black queen. And the queen is functionally like a bishop, is it not? Because it can't count the same as a rook. So it's either a queen or a bishop in here. It's either a queen or a bishop. So it can go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we already have 1, 2, and 3. So it's a 4. And it's a bishop. So now this is a 5 or a 6. Now this is a 5 or a 6. So we go 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, I'm counting the wrong one. 1, 2. Oh, I counted this one twice, didn't I? So I got 1. We just count boxes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5. It can't be a 6. Just count boxes. Okay. And I think that gives us some 5s, right? Because that's the minimum. Yeah. So that gives us a 5 here and a 5 here. And then we know there must be a 5 somewhere here. Now that gives us a 5 here. That gives us some numbers, or it gives us some blanks rather. And then, oh, we got a little white queen here. White queen, white counts different. Okay, don't forget that, everybody. So this queen can be a lot of numbers. It could be a lot of numbers because it's counting a lot of different numbers. Holy moly! Boy howdy, is it counting a lot of different numbers. Well, it can't hit the king, so it can't go here. That much we know. And it can't go beyond that 4. That much we know. So it can't hit the king. It can only take the 4. So already we are seeing 1, 2, 3. Now, is it clear that it counts different numbers? Does it count the same different number multiple times? I'm assuming yes. It would not weird. It would be weird if it doesn't. Yeah, just different from itself. So it doesn't matter if it's counting the same different number. So if this was a 3, for example, then these would be the 3 it sees. Okay. So now here is interesting, right? Because it sees a lot. It sees so much. And 9 is the highest number it can be. Right? So right off the bat, it already sees these 5. So it's a minimum 5. It's a minimum 5. It sees this one, 6, 7, 8. Minimum 8. So this is an 8 or a 9, right? But if it's a 9, no, it could see just a different number again. So it's 8 or 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 or 9. And it sees this number. This is different. That is 9. This is all the numbers I can see. This is all the numbers I can see. So this is 9. But wait, that means this has to be a white piece. That's what it means. This has to be a white piece here. This has to be a white piece here. And this is either, and this is a blank, so this is a 9 here as well. I'm pretty confident in that. Let's just recount real quick, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9. Yeah, I'm punching it in. That's 9. So these are all different numbers all around it. This has to be a white piece because it can't be a 9 to stop the recount. And then this is not a white piece because we see it, so therefore it has to be a 9 to stop it from not counting itself. But this is also a legal move. They can't both be 9s, though. So that's weird. So maybe this is not right? I'm confusing myself here. Because we see all these, and these all have to be different numbers, right? White is counting different. I didn't get that wrong. So it sees all of these. Ah! Maybe some of these are illegal moves. Is that the case? for example, if one of these was a black rook or a queen, but it can't be a black rook or a queen. Can't be a black rook or a queen because those don't exist. So is there a way to pin to make this an illegal move? Am I forgetting a rule? We'll come back to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Counts different. So this could be 9, this could be 9, but then we have one more number here. That's a problem. We can have a white piece block here. We can have a white piece block here. And then it can't move if it's an illegal move. It'll only be an illegal move if it exposes the king to a check. Which I think only in this line would a move expose it to a check. Right, but we can't have a black queen. Or we could have a black queen, because a black queen would behave like a bishop. So we just can't have a black rook. So we can have a black queen here, but then the queen could take the queen, and that would be a 10th move still. No, it wouldn't, because it would make all of these illegal. It would make all of these illegal if this was a black queen right here. So let's think of this through. If this was a black queen here, then we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 moves, but it can't be a 5. So the black queen could be here. We could have a 6. And then all of these moves are illegal. I guess if we eliminate all that is impossible, then whatever left, however improbable, must be the answer, right? And I'm pretty sure this cannot be a 9. There's no scenario where I think 9 would work, because we already have way too many things here. That's 9 already. And if this is 9, this is 9. This cannot be a 9. And there's no other way to block it. So I think this scenario is impossible. So therefore the queen has to be pinned to the king along this line. And it'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. But we already have a 5, so it has to take the 6. And this has to be the black queen. I'm not going to punch it in yet because we already did that a little bit too much. I want to try to actually figure this one out a little bit. Now the queen, black queen, has to count the same. And it can only count along the diagonal. So it only has this long diagonal, which means it's either a 1 or a 2. So it has to be a 1 then. I was so confident in the previous one now I'm kind of like hesitant to pull the trigger, but I honestly don't see anywhere else to go with this. Which is another reason why I like Foggy War Puzzle, because basically this is all that you need to focus on, which is very helpful for somebody who gets off on tangents. All right, let's punch it in. Okay, good. So our assumption is correct. We have the queen here, and now the 1 is here or here. It's one of these places. You know what? I'm penciling it in. I'm not afraid. And then the 1 is up here somewhere. Now we know, I mean, we already knew all these numbers are different, right? So I don't know if that's really helpful to pencil mark all these things. There is a 3 and a 4 somewhere along here. We know this is not a piece, at least. Okay. Let's put on our thinking hats now. Where would the next clue lie? Where could it possibly be? Maybe it's this bishop. Yeah. Now that we have a number here, this bishop, we need 4. Blacks count the same, right? Yes. So we have 1 here, 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, this is a 4. Just pawn up there. Nice to see you, buddy. We might as well pencil mark this 4 in here. And this 4 over here. Do I dare? You know what? I do dare. Okay, so now we have this pawn. Black pawns count the same. So this can't be these. Could be this, and it could be this. No, it can't be this because of this. So this is a 1. That's a 1. It goes to this 1. That's not a 1. That's an imposter. Now we've got another black pawn here. And again, can't count this one. This one is already empty, so this has to go here. That's a 1. Okay, we have a knight here, we have a pawn here. Pawn counts different. Can't do a double jump, so it could only be, well, we know it's a 1, sorry. That's weird. I mean, it could be this. It could be this. That's a black piece. If there's something else blocking it, then that's fine. Okay. I don't think we can get too much further with that. I want to look at the knight, but quickly I want to see if there's any Sodaku to be had. Okay, let's take a look at this knight. Black counts the same. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, and boom. Okay, so count boxes. Can't be this. 1, 2, or 3. So this is 2 or 3. Obviously, it can't be this number because it's not the same. And if it's here, it would have to be here. Well, no. So 2 or 3, right? This 3 sees both of these. So 3 is impossible. It has to be a 2. Is that right? Just dotting my I's, crossing my T's, crossing my I's. If this is a 3, then it has to be 1 here, 1, and then this one and this one. That's impossible. So it has to be a 2. So, doing it. Now, the 2 does give us options though. It doesn't have to be in here. I was about to make this a 2-4 pair, but that's not true. It doesn't have to be here. Yeah, I don't particularly see a way forward with this one. Oh, that's really interesting. If the knight is here. No, never mind. Forget I said that. I was going to say, like, if the knight's here is blocking the bishop from seeing these things, therefore it can't be there, but that's not true because it's not actually there right now. We're only counting legal moves, so yeah. But it does mean that neither of these has a piece in it because it would block from here. Neither of these have a piece in it, therefore the different number is this one. But how does it stop from seeing here? That means there's just no piece there, so it's not a legal move. So this is just the one that's counting. I don't think that helps us at all. We also know there's no piece here. I don't know if counting where pieces aren't is going to be particularly helpful at this moment. We just know that this number is different. And that's pretty much always the case. And we know there's no piece there. Kind of want to just start marking places where pieces can't be. Don't know if that's helpful or not. This queen sees this one. That's the one it sees. And it's stopped here. That means there are no pieces blocking it from seeing this one. So that's true. We already know this is not a piece because this queen needs to be able to capture this queen. Okay, so this one, that's the same number. It can go up this way or it can go this way. If there's a black piece there, it can capture that, but they don't need another piece here to block it. This one only sees this one, but these are all different numbers, so it doesn't really matter anyways. We could pencil mark 5s here, so that's yay, progress. Do I have all the ones on the board already? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, I do. How is it? Don't let it be Sudoku. I don't want to be bingo carded. Please, don't let it be Sudoku. Okay, doesn't look like a Sudoku. Whew, safe for now. It'd be interesting if it was a minimum of pieces. Oh, interesting. It does say that each player has exactly 1 king, and then at most 8 pawns, 2 rooks, 2 knights, 2 bishops, and 1 queen. So there is a black king somewhere on this grid. Guaranteed. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. I mean, it helps that we're marking squares where it can't be right now. And the black king will have to count the same. So for example, it couldn't be here. There's no way it's going to count the same. It could be, no, it can't be here. It would be in check. I could take a little detour here because I'm kind of curious as to where this black king could be. So it was like, not these places. Or would it be more helpful to mark where it could be? We have a few places that it could be though. So like all of this is still open. That's kind of open. Yeah, there's a lot of places it could be. Yeah, so that's not very helpful right now. But that's something to keep in mind, that we might have to do that near the end, is to figure out where the black king lies. If there turns out to be a pawn that can take something en passant, that requires for us to know what the previous move was. Although there are some puzzles like that, where they're like, hey, given the state, there's only one solution, and it must be en passant, en croissant. I recently went to France, and while I was in France, I was there for 12 days. While I was there, I got to play chess on 3 different occasions. Very lucky. But unfortunately, I did not get to en passant while I was in France. Very sad. But I did get some very, very pretty games in there. Okay, I'm pretty stumped. The rules say en croissant is not in here, in pheasant. Where does it say that? Specifically, does it call out en passant that's not there? Or is it just because it doesn't include it in the rule? It's a matter of exclusion rather than inclusion. Ah, here we go. En passant is not relevant in this puzzle. Castling and promotion. Okay. I see it now. Would I like a little hint? I think yes. I think at this point I am. Just tell me where to look. Just tell me where to look. And no, I'll stare at it a little harder. Yeah, There is a cool chess club. There was a bar called the Blitz Society that I went to. And there's like a cover charge you have to pay to get in, but there's like 30 people in there playing chess and drinking beer. It was really cool. They had a tournament running that day as well, which I didn't participate in because I didn't feel like paying. I think it was like 20 euros or something like that to play in the tournament, and the prize was a gift card. And I'm like, I'm not gonna stay around long enough to be able to use this gift card. But I did play some of the people who played in the tournament, and one of the guys who got second place, he was like, I think 1900 FIDE rating or something like that. He and I traded games earlier before the tournament started. I think we played 4 games, and we were 2-2. So it gave me some confidence, honestly. And yeah, because I wouldn't ever consider myself to be anywhere near like 1900, 200, 2000 FIDE rating. I think I'm like around anywhere between like 1600 to 1800 rating, honestly. But yeah, going 2-2 against the guy, and then he got second place made me feel good about myself. So but yeah, Pewter, if you want to just tell me where I should look, I would appreciate it. And if I'm just being a doofus. Check out the show, Queen's Gambit. Yes, it is pretty cool. There is a new one. There's kind of like a biopic about Judith Polgar. I don't remember what the name of the show is, but you guys can look up Judith Polgar show, TV show or whatever, covering about her stuff, which is a true story. And Judith Polgar is an amazing chess player. Played at basically pretty much the highest level of the day during like Garry Kasparov era of chess. Oh, thank you, Lino. I already had the right idea, but I did not follow through on it. I had many ideas, my friend. I have many ideas. I think the main one that I did not follow through on was trying to figure out where the Black King was. So let's go with that direction for now. Let's try to figure out where the Black King goes. And continue eliminating squares, I guess. Maybe. But it does feel like... Okay, well, no. Because the Black King has to count the same, right? So this can't be the Black King. This could be the Black King, but then they'll only see here, which is a 1. So they can't be here because there's already a 1. Same here, right? It would be a 1. So none of these can be it. And here, if this was a Black King, again, it will only see a 1. So none of these can be the Black King. This can't be a Black King because it'll be in check, it'll be in check, and it'll be in check. So none of those. If this was a Black King, it could see into here, 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 up to 2, because you can't see both of these at the same time. So if this was a 2, well, no, this would be a 2. Then it can go here. So it can't be a 2 or a 1. So this can't be a Black King either. If this was the Black King, it sees here, and here, and here. Same issue, right? It can only be a 1 or 2. And actually, it can't move legally into the knight. So this can't be a Black King. So I think we've eliminated Black King from all of these places. So let's do this box here. Can this be the Black King? I think the answer is going to be no, because this would be the only thing it sees. This can't be the Black King. This would see only that. That's a 1. This would see only a 1. This would see 1, 2, and 3 again. But again, it can't see both of these, and there's a 1 and 2 in this box, so it can't be that one. Can these be the Black King? I think this is probably a no, right? Because this one would see here, here, yeah. This one would see here, here, and here. can't see here. So it's going to be a 1 or a 2, and there's 1 and 2 already here. This one sees here and here, and it could capture this as well. So you'll see here. So it's a 1 or a 2. Can it be a 2? If it's 2, this is a different number. So I have to be this, this, and this as 2s. That's possible? Is this our first king candidate? I guess so. Okay, so we'll keep this one in mind. We'll give it a little purple for royalty, you know what I mean? If this is the king, you can only see here, so it's not a 1. This one cannot be here. This one cannot be here. Cannot be this one. Cannot be this one. We already know it's not this one. This one cannot be here, so this one here. It could be a 1 or a 2. Could be a 2, maybe? Two looks possible. None of these can be the king. None of these. None of these. None of these. Not this one. Not this one. How about you? No. Well, yes. No. Because if this is the king, then it blocks the bishop from seeing these 4s. So we're just going to exclude that one. No, no, no. Not this one. Could it be this one? If it's this one, it'll be here, here, and here. And yeah, I think a 2 could work. Oh no, it can't. Because if it's 2's here, then it would have to be like this. So it can't be this. So we only have these 2. Wow. Wow. I might even have to double check it, but well, let's think about it carefully, right? If this is a 2, then these would be 2s. If this is a 2, one of these is, oh, so it has to be this way. It's this way, or it's this way. So that means like the 2's go like this and like this. Ah, but this can't be a 2 because it's here. So it can't be this one. So it has to be this one. Okay, before we lock it in, before we put this in, let's just simmer down. Everybody calm down. Eat some poutine. Let's just double check, triple check. Make sure that the king can't go anywhere else. If you have already girded your loins, please proceed to ungird your loins. Okay, we are not girding our loins just yet. It's too late for poutine. It's never too late for poutine. Joking me? Okay. Can king go here? These places is a no, because they are touching the king. It's in check. Pretty much the king cannot be, like everything that I checked, the king had to be in the corner. Because edges here sees a 1, and these 1s are pretty much eliminating everything. Well, or actually all the 1s are on the board already, so we know it can't be any of these edges. It's not these edges, it can't be any of the middles. And we already know it's not this. I'm just gonna highlight everything, man. I'm just gonna highlight everything. You guys aren't even ready for this. It can't be these edges, can't be the middles, can't be these edges, can't be the edges, middles, edges, middles. None of these, none of these, none of these, none of these. Definitely not that. These pieces are clearly not that. This one, it's a 1 or 2. Well, it can't be this. 1 or 2 are here. It can't be this. 1 or 2 are here. This one, can it be a 2? Get rid of these ones too. Can this one be a 2? No, the answer is no, because this 2 sees these 2 squares, so this cannot be it, right? And then if this is a 2, this 2 also sees these ones, and there's a 2 there as well, so it can't be that. Okay, this is an edge, that's an edge, that's an edge, that is an edge. 1, 2 sees these ones, so it can't be that one. If this is a 2, it can only go here, and this 2 sees that, so it can't be that one. And then that's clearly not a king. Over here, if this was a 2, this 5 blocks that, and so it can't be that. And then this one we just did because this 2 eliminated that one. So yeah, has to be this. Hail to the Majesty. Oops, I meant to undo the coloring. The frustrating thing was that I did started going down and I just like, it can't be this. There's too many options, and clearly I was wrong. I blame that on the brain fog. All right, we got another knight to play with. This knight, what do you see? What does your elf eye sees? Well, clearly it can't be these two. It only counts same. And this can't be the same, and this can't be the same. So we got 1, 2, and 3. So it has to be a 3. Agreed? Agreed. So this is a 3, this is a 3, this is a 3, and that's a 3. Agreed? Agreed. There's only room for that 4. Got a nice little white knight over here. Can we put any more 3s on the grid? We can pencil mark some. That's nice. I like that. At least it wasn't Sudoku. At least the answer wasn't Sudoku all along. We can say that for ourselves. We didn't get bingo carded. Okay, Mr. Knight here counts different, right? He just counts differently than the rest of us, and clearly it sees 2, so this is 2. The end. End of questions. If you have questions, I'm sorry, that is the answer. 2, 2, and a 2, 2. Okay. Now what? We got this 5 down. We have this 5. We have this 5. We have this 5. We have this 5. This guy's happy. He's done. He is done. They've got a 4 here. We're still missing 1 4 here, and we're missing 1 4 up here. We have so many pieces on the board now. The tag said it was loud. Oh yes, you're right. That's an old tag, but that's an old tag. Just because I do say it is somewhat loud, and then also for other games too. But I do appreciate you guys holding tight your lips. Where are my tags? How do I get rid of that? You guys can tell it's been a while since I've done any of this stuff. Where do I even see my tags, yo? Is that when I started the whole thing? Edit stream info. There it is. I found it. Don't worry. Don't worry. There you go. I'm going to add a new tag. I'm going to call it Poutine Routine. There you go. Tag's been updated, my friends. Don't say I never warned you. Okay, back to it. No more distractions. No more talking about poutine, okay, guys? Sack beating allowed? That seems like a personal thing. Something you do in your privacy of your own home. Okay, let's let's not be lazy about it. Let's analyze our Sudoku options, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All the threes are done. Halalala. We got a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, and not a lot of anything else, which is quite funny to me. We have all the guarantee pieces, which is the kings, down now. This one, no, it's not that interesting to me because it could just be any number here. It doesn't actually have to touch anything here. This knight is miserable. I guess it took a rook. That's why the rooks don't exist. I always dreamed of making a puzzle that it shows like a specific game position. This is a cool rule set. This rule set actually might make that work. Okay. Okay. So now what? Now that we reached this point, how do we... Oh, we still haven't resolved this knight, haven't we? Yes, now that this is not here, this must be one of the twos. Haha! Haha! Yes! And does that give us some more work? It does. I love it. I love it. Alright, so it's not... Oh, it could be this 4, actually, couldn't it? But if this is a 4, then 1 and 2, it doesn't... Oh no, it counts different. It just counts different than the rest of us, okay guys? It just counts different. If this was a 4, it'll see a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. It'll see exactly 4. It totally could be a 4. What if it's not a 4? What could it be if it's not a 4? Well, it definitely sees these two. 1, 2. Let's say it was a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It could be a 6. It could be a 4 or a 6. Both works. Could be a 4 or a 6. Oh, actually, this 4 sees a... So it is indeed a 4. Duh. Duh. There we go. Mystery solved. We got a knight here. I almost missed seeing that knight appear. Our board's a little bit messy now. Maybe it's time to get rid of these X's. So we can admire the beauty of the board. So this knight just appeared, but let's see if we can do anything else with these 4s first. We can pencil mark that. Ooh. And that's about it. Okay. Okay, counts different. Counts different. So we got 1, 2, and then potentially up to 6. And in fact, we have only the number 6 available to us. So that's very handy. That means 6s are not any of these things, okay? They cannot be 6s. So that's not a 6. That puts a 6 up here or here. And these can't be 6s, so this is now a 4-6 pair, which means that is a 6. These cannot be 6s. These cannot be 6s. They're already not 6s, so we'll ignore them. These cannot be 6s. Anything else is revealed by such wizardry? Well, obviously, that. Clearly. Oh, there's a rook. Man, these pieces are just everywhere, aren't they? Rook counts different. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9. Feeling good. I feel like we have all but cracked it. There's a lot of 7, 8, 9s around. I don't even know why I'm pencil marking these, but I'm doing it. I'm crazy. Can't stop me. Can't stop, won't stop. That's a 9. These ain't 9s. That's a 9. One of these is a 9. Shoopa. 7, 8. What's left? 5, 6, 7? 6, 7. We didn't pencil mark it though. Doesn't count for bingo. Okay? I'm sorry. I wonder if setters like purposely avoided certain things. Wait, that's not 5, 6, 7. So it's 9. So it's extra not that, okay? It's extra not that. I'm just messing up my numbers now. I'm completely sure this, ignore this column. I might have penciled that completely wrong. Hey, there's a rook there. I didn't even see it. What do you see, sir? You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You are a 9. A lot of 7, 8s. Is there a way to disambiguate them? I'm sure there will be. I trust. I trust in the process. Trust in the process. Okay, we have a last little thing here. I mean, is this a hidden piece? Is this going to disambiguate everything? Let's just check real quick. I don't see any way to disambiguate these 7, 8s. I'm not crazy, right? What could this be? To help us disambiguate this whole thing. We have 2 black bishops already, 2 black knights, yes. We have the queen, can't have rooks, and the pawn is not going to help us in this situation. Meanwhile, we have this, we have 2 rooks, 2 knights. Only thing left is a bishop. Only thing left is a white bishop. So if it is a white bishop, then how many does it see? Not enough, I can tell you that much. The white queen's down here. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it counts different. Counts different, guys. Guys, what are you talking about? It counts different. Jeez. Jeez, you people. It counts different, okay? Okay, what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. Great. Wonderful. It's too many, is what it is. Okay. Is this the same as that one? Is the question here I find myself asking. And I don't feel like doing parity coloring because I want to be lazy, but I might have to. Don't think I can even get all the way with parity coloring. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, guaranteed different, 6, 7. So the question is, we have 7 exactly as it is, as it stands. And it sees this one too, so that's 8. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's an 8. And then these, all the other ones that it sees has to be an 8. Agreed? Do you concur? I think it has to be, right? The interesting thing is that we know the answer has to be unique, right? I don't think there's, well, I guess normal Sudoku rules would imply that. So therefore we have to assume that there must be something to help disambiguate this. Otherwise, the solution would not be unique. So my assumption, therefore, is that this is a bishop, and the bishop sees these 8 different thingers. So that would make all of these 8s. Hallelujah. Yeah, let's rewind. Let us rewind to that state, shall we? And let's take a look here, right? So let's assume that this is empty. What happens if this is empty? What happens to us if this is empty? Does it block anything? But I feel like all the pieces are already very happy, right? Oh, I see. This king wants to go here. This is the case here. This king wants to go here. But it can't go here because this queen will see it. It will walk into check, even though technically the queen can't move. This king can't go here because, unless there's a piece blocking it. So that's why we need to have a piece here. We need to have something to block this queen from seeing that square. That's what it is. So that's very cool. So that's why we know there must be a piece in here. And then we know it's not a black piece because we already have 2 knights, 2 bishops, the queen, and the king. And black rooks cannot exist because there's no way that black rooks can see another piece of the same number. And then black pawns, or any pawns for that matter, can only count up to 4. So this is a 7-8, so it can't be a pawn. And then we already have 2 knights and 2 rooks and a queen and a king. So therefore, the only last piece left was the bishop. So there you go. Yeah, I really like this rule set. This is really cool. Is this the first time you ever used this rule set, Pewter? Or have you done other ones with this rule set? Because this is a really cool rule set, I think. For me, anyways. Yeah, for me, anyways, this was pretty easy to understand. Did you come up with this yourself? I guess that's the other question. Now we have like 3 different type of chess rule sets. We have like anti-knight, anti-king. We have GDC's chess like lines, the chess lines stuff, which I also really like. And then now we have this one. I think this one for me, I like this one out of all the chess type stuff. I like this one the best, honestly, because it does pull a little bit from chess knowledge, especially when you're looking at the pins and stuff like that. And thinking about legal moves and stuff like that, it really incorporates chess into it. So I really like this one. I'm a big fan. I hope you do more of this type of stuff.